Do you love courses that have you driving in a straight line, pointless open worlds that really serve no purpose, and an endless amount of stickers to collect? Well, if you do, then you're probably not going to like Sonic Racing Crossworlds because it actually has interesting courses, dynamic races, and lots of awesome things to collect. Over the weekend, Sonic Racing Crossworlds had its open network test. We got to play the game for a full weekend, and even as I'm making this video, I'm wishing that I was still playing it. It was so much fun, extremely addictive. I had an absolute blast. And if you check the sentiment online, that's the general consensus, that it is a really, really fun game, and a lot of people who are into kart racers and arcade racers are really looking forward to it. But more importantly, people who were disappointed with Mario Kart World, like a lot of people, well, they're kind of looking to Sonic Racing Crossworlds as its savior, because at this point, I think this is going to be the better game. Listen, I've been playing Mario Kart games since the N64. I grew up with Mario Kart. I grew up playing Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, and then of course Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like one of the best kart racers out there. But Mario Kart World isn't it. And, you know, you can defend the game all you want. You can enjoy the game. That's fine. But for a lot of people, including myself, it just did not hit the mark. And as a launch game for a brand new Nintendo console, it kind of needed to. There's just a lot of things about that game that are disappointing, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds kind of seems to be filling that gap. And I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this game when it finally comes out. Whether you like Sonic or not, or you just like arcade racers, this is probably going to fill the void that, you know, if you were disappointed by Mario Kart World, you know, this is probably going to be a good fit for you. If you're unfamiliar with Sonic Racing Crossworld's main gimmick, on the second lap of each race, you are actually going to teleport into a new track called a Crossworld. At launch, there are going to be 24 main courses, and then I believe 15 Crossworlds. So, as you can imagine, there is just an incredible amount of variety when it comes to the tracks themselves. Not only are you going to have those, you know, 24 main tracks, but each race is going to be completely different because you never know what track you're going to get in that Crossworld, that teleportation on that second lap. And the person in first place will actually get to choose which map they want to teleport to. And these Crossworld maps are very dynamic, very different from the main courses. They have all types of crazy themes, from going to a dinosaur planet to a lot of classic Sonic themes, like the Roulette Road, like, you know, the gambling map that's pretty much been around since like Sonic Adventure. You're gonna see a lot of like classic Sonic themes, but we're also getting lots of mix-ups and lots of crossovers with different franchises and IPs, like SpongeBob. For some reason, SpongeBob is gonna be in here. We got Joker from Persona. There's gonna be a lot of different characters from other video games, and it's gonna be an absolute blast. And with those characters, we're actually also getting those courses as well, so it's going to be really fun. But it was just an absolute blast. The sense of speed, once you start getting into the higher levels, the higher speeds, it really does feel great. The amount of customization with your vehicles. There's like 4 or 5 different vehicle types. I really do love the hoverboards here, you know, from Sonic Riders. It's just an absolute blast. And you can see you're just going into these courses and it just changes in an instant. And it's actually really impressive tech here, you know, going from one course and then all of a sudden teleporting into a completely different track and then back into the main course for that final lap. So it's just a lot of fun. Again, the customization is a blast, and it brings back that Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, where not only are you going to be racing on the ground, but you're also going to be racing in the air and on sea, which does offer a lot of dynamic you know, interactions and gameplay with these courses. A lot of really cool things that they can do and did do with the tracks that we got to see over the weekend. We had 9 main courses to play through on the open network test, and I think like 7 of the Crossworld maps as well. So we had a ton of content already. There's also going to be a huge roster of Sonic characters, the most that's ever been in any of the Sonic racing games. So we are really in for a treat here. For me personally, Mario Kart World just wasn't it. There was a lot of really cool tracks. in the main tracks, but too many of the intermission tracks where you're just going in a straight line, which doesn't offer fun or exciting gameplay. The huge focus on the open world, which was touted as a major feature and ended up really not being important or, all that impactful, in the grand scheme of things. So there's just a lot of really weird, awkward, and kind of baffling design decisions when it came to Mario Kart World, and even some of the updates and the patches, and kind of Nintendo refusing to kind of admit that, hey, maybe some of these decisions really weren't the right move. So I've always loved the Sonic racing games from, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, all the way up until Crossworlds. We have quite a bit at this point, but it looks like this is going to be the best one. Again, it's got that huge roster of characters, a huge amount of maps, a really cool, unique gameplay mechanic with the Crossworlds, a ton of customization. I think, again, 5 vehicle types with lots of different parts, and a brand new gadget system, which actually allows you to make builds for your character. You can equip all these different gadgets that offer very different gameplay possibilities, like whenever you gain rings, you gain a burst of speed, or you recover quicker from enemy attacks, and all these types of different, all these things. There is just a lot of content here, and I think Sega, Sonic Team, they are going all out with this game, and they should, because it seems like it's going to be a big hit, and if they continue to listen to the community, balance things around what people like, what they don't like, I think they have a big hit on their hands. So, in my opinion, this is going to be what Mario Kart World should have been. And for Sonic fans, that is a huge win. And also just for arcade racers, kart racer fans, we're in for a really fun time. I'm sure I'll get some angry Mario Kart fans in the comments, but I love Mario Kart. Again, I grew up playing Mario Kart games, and Mario Kart World isn't it, in my opinion, and a lot of people also think that as well. And if you like the game, that's awesome, that's cool, but for a lot of people, it just wasn't what they were expecting it to be, and I think that this is going to be a nice alternative. Always been a huge Sonic fan. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were a huge part of my childhood as well. And I love kart racers and arcade racers. They're really the only racing games that I actually like to play. So I am super stoked for this. The open network test was an absolute blast again. And it kind of really cemented my opinion that I think this is going to be a great game. And they have a ton of content planned. And I think it's going to be something to really look forward to. And that's just my general thoughts on the open network test that we got to play over the weekend, and just how disappointing I felt Mario Kart World really was. So if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the open network test, be sure to leave a like and a sub, because we are going to be covering the hell out of this game when the full launch comes. We're going to be doing all types of different guides and just general gameplay videos, and just lots of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this game. So I'll see you guys out there, and let me know what you thought of the open network test, and what kind of characters are you looking forward to seeing, because again, we are getting a huge roster of characters, not only from Sonic but from a bunch of different IPs as well. So it's going to be really cool to see what kind of characters we get in the pipeline with those post-launch DLC plans and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.